Alright, y'all, we're going to do some name handicapping for the 2021 Kentucky Derby. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Nate, what in the world is name handicapping? Alright, name handicapping is what people do when they have no idea how to bet on horses, but for some reason they're betting on the Kentucky Derby. Somebody invited them over, somebody, they're going to the Derby because they want to go to the party, whatever, so they pick up the racing form and they decide to go ahead and pick a horse based on the name and the name alone. Now, I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I know people that do stuff like this every year. That's what they do. They go by the name. Some people go by how the horse looked. My mother always liked to do that one. She liked to bet on the pretty horse. There's no bad strategy for betting on the Kentucky Derby. Let me tell you that right now. Now, name handicapping, there is a little bit of strategy to it. Now, what I like to do when I'm name handicapping, not that I really play the name handicapping game too much, but what I like to do is imagine the Kentucky Derby glass. Can I envision this horse's name on the glass? Like California Chrome. It just looks like it sounds like it belongs there. It's got a cool sounding name, Smarty Jones. Some of these names just really seem like they belong. Other ones I thought, like Mind That Bird, but hey, some of the weird ones, they still make it on there, and then there's other ones I'm like, yeah, there's no way that name will ever be on a Derby glass. Alright, so anyway, let's get into it. Alright, now, I got these broken down into sections here. Now, in the bottom tier, Medina Spirit. It may make some people mad that have an affinity for the city of Medina. And I'm a spiritual person, but I just don't think it flows. I mean, and don't take that in any kind of insulting way, any of you. Just Medina Spirit just doesn't flow. I don't know, it just doesn't sound right. It doesn't seem like it's going to be on the Derby glass. Anyway, Dynamic One, another one. I like the idea. I like the concept of the Dynamic One. But it just doesn't sound good, so I don't like that one either. The next one, Obesos. Alright, now you're talking about Orkisses, Spanish, you're talking about or Jeff Bezos. I don't know what it is. I just don't like the name. I don't think I can see it on glass. Alright, whatever. Nothing against or for Bezos. Hey, I'm kind of split on him. Great job with Amazon. Other stuff, not so much. Anyway, moving on. Superstock. Alright. This is my next tier up. Superstock, I can kind of see that. Superstock's kind of like Super Saver. Not that great of a name, but yeah, you can see it on a Derby glass, because, it's Kentucky Derby. Along with him, I've got Keep Me in Mind. I like those run-together names that they have with horses. Just Keep Me in Mind, I got in there. Right in there in that same tier, Rock Your World. They stole the thing from Shanae. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Back in the 90s, Living Color. Alright, Rock Your World in there. Mandaloon. And weird names sometimes kind of hit, And, it's a Mandaloon, maybe, even though I just... Mandaloon. I think they could have done a little bit something more with it to make it snappier. But anyway, Mandaloon. Known Agenda. I like the name. Decent. I would like it better if it was Hidden Agenda. If it was Hidden Agenda, I would move the horse up, maybe up into the top tier. But Known Agenda, it's alright, okay, but yeah, not the best. Bourbonic. Bourbonic, it's kind of awkward. I don't know. I get it. I like it. I like bourbon. Bourbonic's just, it's alright. Could win, but I don't know. I think just something about it's just kind of hard to say. I don't know. And the next one in this lower tier is Essential Quality. Elusive Quality sounds better. I don't know why. Essential Quality took me a while to just get used to saying that. It just doesn't flow right. Essential quality. He could very well end up on there, but I don't know. It's something I just don't like about it. But it does have a good enough name to end up on there. But I put him up there with superstock, keep me in mind. Anyway, up to the next here, Midnight Bourbon. All right, strong name, another bourbon name, but it not unlike bourbonic. It's easier to say, it's smoother, and it means something. People know about the Midnight Bourbon, those that like bourbon. All right, Brooklyn strong. All right, I'm not from New York. I've never been to New York. Definitely, that means you've never been to Brooklyn. But I know people from Brooklyn, and they love to talk that Brooklyn stuff, and they talk like Brooklyn's the greatest place on the planet. And I'm always like, well, why do you live in Florida? But anyway, Brooklyn strong. That's another strong name. Not up at the top tier, but if you're looking for a name horse, and honestly, if you're betting these name horses, don't bet them to win. Don't do that. I mean, unless you just want to try to get some big crazy odd bet. But if you're gonna do the win, it's okay. But bet them to show, because if you're just doing the name and the big crazy odds, doing a show or a place could do you very well. I mean, and the Kentucky Derby's crazy enough to where some of these off horses are just gonna come in anyway. So if you're doing this name handicapping stuff, I mean, I'd go with, a show or a place, along with a win, or maybe even leaving out the win and just, going with the others. But anyway, back onto the next one here, I've got Highly Motivated. Highly Motivated is a good name, strong name. It's got purpose to it. So that's one you would want to consider. That's definitely a horse you want to consider for the name handicapping game. Now, next we got Hidden Stash. Now, I don't care who you are. You got a hidden stash of something, all right? Everybody can relate to that name. Hidden Stash, good, solid name, all right? Now, the next one, which I know a lot of people are going to disagree because they probably hate the name. Soup and Sandwich, all right? Soup and Sandwich is a good name. I don't care who you are. Soup and Sandwich is a good thing. Anybody can find a soup and a sandwich to go with it that they think is great. And a soup and a sandwich is a great combo. And that's a great name. So, Soup and Sandwich, I got him up there along with Hot Rod Charlie. Now, Hot Rod Charlie, I almost had him in the top tier. The Hot Rod it speaks speed right there to you, and having a Charlie in there, I know it comes from Indian Charlie, but having a Charlie in there, it's just one of those names that just sounds fast. Hot Rod Charlie. All right, so I like that name. Now we're gonna move up into the top tier, the last four horses here, and if you haven't figured it out, the last four are the ones that I think have not only good, strong names, but these are majestic sounding names. You could see them on a Derby glass. You could see them in the racing form, winning this race, that race, a Triple Crown possibly. You could see their name plastered up on the wall, or you could see a statue out in front of some track somewhere, and bang, a Man of War type horse, War Admiral, Secretariat, Seattle Slew. These horses have a strong, solid name. And in fourth place here, Like the King. Like the King, a very solid, strong name, royal, majestic. It's just like the King, though. It's not the King. It's like the King. So in third place in name handicapping, I've got Sainthood. Sainthood is also a very strong, powerful name. One that is without reproach. And you could definitely see a horse, I think, named Sainthood ending up on a glass or with a statue or something like that. Very strong, powerful name for a horse. Next one I got is Helium in number 2. You can't go wrong with any of the basic elements on the periodic chart. If you're going to name your horse hydrogen, if you're going to name your horse oxygen, if you're going to name your horse carbon, I don't care what the carbon hater fools say. Carbon is still a strong name. You know, even carbon fiber, that's even a better name. You know, but you can go with any of those. You name your horse nitrogen. Those are all great names. So helium, all right, I'm going with the second. But the best name I got in the 2021 Kentucky Derby is King Fury. Now, I know they named the horse after Tyson Fury, and hey, it is what it is. I'm not a big fan of his, but he's all right. He's all right. I'm not a hater. Not at all. Not at all. But King Fury, you gotta love that name. You could see that name on the glass. You could see that name in the paper. You could see that name with the Triple Crown. You could see that name in the Breeders' Cup. You could see that name in the history books. That's just a great name. I do not think this horse is gonna win. Some people do think the horse is gonna win. I got somebody on here. I got to go back and look him up. Who's picking King Fury? He's picking him from way back when. So that's the horse I got. Number 1 name, King Fury. Number 2, Helium. 3, Sainthood, and 4, Like the King. Now this is no way, in any way, shape, or form, me telling you how to bet this race. However, for those that are name handicapping alone, you might want to take this into consideration. You know, you might want to look at some of these pointers here before you go and bet on Obesos or something. But now that I said that, watch Obesos end up winning. So I'll catch y'all for the next one.